When we talk about Black history, the focus is often on the United States, slavery, civil rights, and resilience. These stories are powerful and important, but they're only a part of a much larger narrative that spans the globe and stretches back through the ages. But that's just one chapter in a much bigger story. Black history is not confined to one country or one struggle. It's a tapestry woven from countless experiences, cultures, and triumphs across the world. Black history is a global epic stretching across continents and millennia. It's a story that begins long before the transatlantic slave trade and continues to unfold in every corner of the earth. From the rise and fall of ancient African kingdoms to the vibrant, bustling cities in Europe, Asia, and beyond, Black people have shaped the world in countless ways, through art, science, politics, and everyday life. Their presence is ancient, not recent, and their journeys, both forced and voluntary, have woven rich threads into the fabric of many cultures. Black explorers, traders, and thinkers have left their mark on every continent. Limiting Black history to America misses the diversity of experiences and victories worldwide. There are stories of resistance, innovation, and celebration in every nation where Black communities have taken root. Think of it like watching only the last 20 minutes of a movie. You miss the depth, the twists, the context. The full story is richer, more complex, and far more inspiring than any single chapter. We overlook powerful African empires, places of learning, trade, and culture that influenced the world long before colonialism, and centuries of Black presence in Europe that predate the slave trade, with individuals who shaped royal courts, arts, and society. This journey is about seeing the full picture, following the many paths Black people have walked across the globe, paths of migration, resistance, and creativity. Let's step beyond familiar narratives and explore a deeper, interconnected history, one that links continents, generations, and dreams. Black history is filled with kings, scholars, rebels, and innovators, a human story of sorrow, achievement, and influence. It's a story of survival, brilliance, and the ongoing quest for justice and dignity. It's world history, too epic to fit in just one box. Let's begin this journey together and discover the many stories that make up the whole. Long before the rise of Greece and Rome, Africa was the birthplace of some of humanity's most advanced and influential civilizations. This vast continent, rich in resources and culture, was home to societies that shaped the course of world history. Ancient Egypt, known as Kemet, flourished along the Nile. Here, people pioneered the construction of monumental pyramids, developed intricate hieroglyphic writing, and made groundbreaking discoveries in science, mathematics, and medicine that would influence generations to come. To the south, the kingdom of Kush rose to power. The Black pharaohs of Kush not only ruled Egypt for nearly a century but also built more pyramids than Egypt itself. Their civilization thrived for over 1,000 years, leaving behind a legacy of art, architecture, and leadership. In the highlands of present-day Ethiopia, the kingdom of Aksum emerged as a formidable trading empire. Aksum was among the first major empires to adopt Christianity, and its influence stretched across the Red Sea and beyond. The stone obelisks of Aksum, carved with mysterious symbols, and the ancient Ge'ez script are still visible today, testaments to a literate and innovative society whose echoes remain in modern Ethiopia. Across the Sahara, West Africa's empires, Ghana, Mali, and Songhai, rose to legendary status. These kingdoms were renowned for their immense wealth, vibrant cities, and centers of learning that attracted scholars from across the world. Mansa Musa, the emperor of Mali, made a pilgrimage to Mecca so extravagant that it disrupted global gold markets. His journey showcased the riches and sophistication of West Africa to the wider world. Upon his return, Mansa Musa brought back architects, artists, and scholars, transforming Timbuktu into a legendary center of knowledge, culture, and innovation that would inspire generations. These African kingdoms were not isolated. They were interconnected with the world, shaping global trade, culture, and ideas through vast networks that spanned continents. Their enduring legacies challenge the myth that Africa's story began with colonization. Instead, they reveal a continent with a deep, dynamic, and influential past. These civilizations laid the foundations for much of the modern world, contributing knowledge, art, and innovation that still resonate today. Black history begins here, rooted in greatness, resilience, and creativity that continues to inspire new generations. And this is just the beginning. The story of Africa only gets bigger from here. The African diaspora is a story of movement, sometimes by choice, often by force. African traders and scholars traveled the Indian Ocean and Mediterranean, building communities in Asia and the Middle East. The transatlantic slave trade, however, was a tragedy. Millions taken, cultures attacked, but not erased. In the Caribbean, African traditions fused with others, creating new music, religions, and identities. Reggae, Vodou, Santeria. These cultures became acts of resistance, forging new ways to be free. The diaspora's influence spread, inspiring anti-colonial movements and global black consciousness. Thinkers like Aimé Césaire and Frantz Fanon led the fight for dignity and justice. The diaspora is a network, born of pain and resilience, connecting black people worldwide. It's a story of survival, creativity, and unity. Black presence in Europe is ancient, not just a post-war story. Africans served as Roman soldiers, merchants, and even emperors, like Septimius Severus. Black soldiers guarded Hadrian's Wall in Roman Britain. By the 1500s, cities like Lisbon and Seville had significant black populations, some diplomats, others enslaved. Despite challenges, many thrived. Joseph Boulogne, a celebrated French composer and fencer, Olaudah Equiano, whose autobiography fueled abolition. After the World Wars, new waves of black migrants helped rebuild Europe, shaping its culture and economy. Yet they faced racism and fought for recognition. This history is one of contribution and struggle, central to Europe's identity. Black Europeans have always been part of the story. Their legacy is woven into the continent's fabric. The African diaspora in Asia is a rarely told story, often overlooked in mainstream history books and documentaries. Yet it is a story that stretches back centuries, revealing deep connections between continents and cultures. African sailors and soldiers traveled Indian Ocean routes for centuries, settling in places like India, Pakistan, and beyond. They became part of the fabric of these societies, contributing to trade, defense, and local culture. The city people, descendants of Africans, rose to power, like Malik Ambar, a legendary military leader who shaped the politics of the Deccan. Their legacy is still felt in the regions where they lived and ruled. City culture blends African and Indian traditions, preserving a unique heritage through music, dance, and language. Their vibrant customs are a living testament to centuries of adaptation and resilience. In Latin America, blackness is central. Brazil, Colombia, and Cuba have huge Afro-descendant populations, each with their own rich histories and cultural expressions. African heritage shapes music, religion, and martial arts like capoeira, infusing daily life with rhythms, beliefs, and practices that trace back to Africa. Afro-Latinos have faced racism but built powerful communities of resistance like the Quilombos of Brazil, settlements founded by people who escaped enslavement and fought for freedom. Palmares, a free black republic, stood for nearly a century as a beacon of freedom and hope, inspiring generations to come. These stories prove the African diaspora's reach is global, its impact profound, shaping societies on every continent and connecting people across oceans and generations. Black history is everywhere, often hidden, always vital. By uncovering these stories, we honor the resilience, creativity, and enduring influence of African-descended peoples worldwide. In the 20th and 21st centuries, black people worldwide have broken barriers and redefined societies. Anti-colonial leaders like Nkrumah and Kenyatta inspired independence and cultural pride. Black communities in Europe forged new identities, enriching culture from music to sports. Yet, racism and inequality persist, sparking global movements like Black Lives Matter. Protests in London, Paris, and Rio show the fight for justice is international. Every achievement, Nobel Prizes, art, politics, builds on generations of struggle. These are collective victories, not just individual ones. Progress is real, but the struggle continues. The global black experience is defined by resilience and creativity. The journey is ongoing, and every step forward matters. Why does this global history matter? Because it shapes how we see the world today. Limiting black history to one country or narrative distorts reality. Black people have been part of Europe and Asia for centuries. They're not newcomers. This history empowers black communities, showing their story began with greatness, not slavery. It connects people to a global legacy of resilience and achievement. For everyone, it challenges old stories and enriches our understanding of the world. It reveals how cultures have always influenced each other. Embracing black history as world history restores the full picture. By learning it, we honor the past and build a more inclusive future. The journey to uncover this story belongs to us all.